little NASCAR 08 action Wednesday night. Craftsman Truck Series racing at the Tiburon Raceway, a.k.a. the formerly known as Dodge Raceway, for this little short track on about a third-mile oval or so. Inside a football stadium, around a football field, kind of how the Coliseum at LA was the last couple of seasons. So, with that being said, we're about to get into qualifying. I did not practice. I'm just going to guess on a setup here. Give me the downforce. I want grip. I tend to struggle with grip quite a bit on the short tracks. But I will say the Truck Series, the pace isn't as high. So it might be a little bit better. All right. See what we can do. I usually don't qualify on stream, but for those of you that have been in the chat the last several minutes, we're slightly late today. Finishing up my food. Got off of work just a little bit later. Give ourselves enough time to try to go racing here still. That already wasn't a great lap. I'm going to try to be way more patient this time. I do something different. That first lap wasn't great. Oh, jeez. Yeah, you know, qualifying's broken on this game. We've been over it before. I'll say it again. I felt like I ran pretty good laps. I mean, a 13-0, 13-1. I don't know that I can get a whole lot better than that. It's showing that the leaders were running 12.7s, which is ridiculous. I think setup-wise, I'm okay. I'm going to take a half round of wedge out of it, actually. Try to free it up a little bit more. But not a lot. Stuck in traffic. Oh, you talking about on the way home? No, it wasn't traffic today. I just walked out a couple minutes later. Usually, sometimes in those situations, I don't eat until after the stream, and I was starving when I got off of work today, so that wasn't going to happen. Alrighty. Billy Kramer, Jackson Robinson, wait, thanks for tuning in, by the way. You guys were waiting in the chat. Johnny Benson's on the pole, green flags in the air. This is not the track I want to be starting at the back on. 200 laps is not a long race around here either. This thing's going to fly by. Stay low and go. Name of the game at the Tiburon Raceway. That's the first log jam. I was waiting on that to happen on the first lap. I'm surprised it didn't. Three wide action. I'm surprised I got that sideways after that contact. We weren't going that quick. Maybe 70 miles an hour? That was a big block by the 126. He almost got knocked into next week. That would have been all his fault. Heard some contact somewhere else around us. I don't know where it was, but I heard it. These are going so slow here, but at the same time, there's just that chaotic nature of short track racing, middle of the pack, on a bull rink like this, nonetheless. And we just have to keep our eyes peeled, because anything could happen. Somebody can blow a motor and stall everything up. We've had that happen before on the older EA games at this track. Truck is definitely quick, which seems to be the case when I qualify at the back. Able to work my way through traffic as the race goes in.
We're about 5 seconds, guys.
I'll take 13th on lap 12, though. Honestly, I'm getting through traffic way quicker than I thought I was going to. Made contact with a few trucks, but not too many, really. Still 5.5 seconds off the lead, though. That's a little scary. Johnny Benson's got nothing but clean air in front of him. Once he gets into lap traffic, though, I think things will stall up a little bit. And that's where we'll start to get some of that interval time back. But we've gained a lot of position, so I'm happy about that. We got the bumper behind us. I heard it, and then I saw it as it was finishing out. 13.249 that last lap. I think I can maybe get down to a 12.9 if I get clean air. I'd have to worry about making any passes. TJ Bell right in front of us. Oh, man, he didn't give me a lot of room. Pinched us. Getting up off the exit of the corner. Move him out of the way that time. That's what you get, buddy. I think Chad McCumbee took the lead away from Johnny Benson in lap traffic also. 13.180 is our fastest lap that last time by. Still not quite as quick as our qualifying lap. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. It is weird seeing the Tiburon logo everywhere on this track instead of Dodge Raceway. It makes me feel like it's a slightly different track. Tiburon Raceway Stadium instead of Dodge Raceway Stadium. A couple trucks got hung up on that outside. They were leaning on each other. More for Quapple and Skinner to go. What happened there? He get into that guy too? It's like the 116 truck just stopped right in front of us. Quapple got shifted out of line because of that, so we passed him for fourth. Lost over a second to the leader because of it as well. It's definitely going more smooth than the Busch race did yesterday at Charlotte. Finished in second, but I didn't lead a single lap that entire race. Now we got trucks slowing down up here, too. Luckily, I was far enough behind them. I caught them, and I was able to make some quick passes. Now they're 3 wide in the rearview mirror. I'm glad I'm ahead of that. No, thank you. Oh, boy. I've gotten in the gas a little too soon there. I didn't give that guy any room. TJ Bell did to me. Only he was on my outside. And about 3 seconds off the lead. 30 laps in, though, we're up to third, so that's good. And Johnny Benson's not that far in front of us in second. Chad McCumbie's pulled away a little bit. There's quite a few lap trucks between where we're at and where the race leader is still. We had our fastest lap of the race, and we did get into the 12.9, so 12.944. There's no way I'm going to run a 12.7. I'd be shocked if I'm able to pull that out of my rear end. contact. This guy's not giving me a lot of room either. He's pulling a TJ Bell on us. 2.5 seconds off the lead now. Johnny Benson under a lap truck. Skinner trying to get closer to his teammate. Might have a chance to get by him for second place here. 2 seconds off the lead and up to second for Mike Skinner. Body slam with a lap truck. 128 car. Sometimes they give you a lot of room, sometimes they don't give you any room at all. That guy didn't give me a lot of room. I drove it in way too deep to try to grip up on the apron, too. Welcome back, Billy. Less than a second off the lead, though. Only 2 more lap trucks between us and race leader Chad McCumbee. Skinner would be the 3rd different leader of the race once he gets there. We'll definitely get there. Pretty clear we've got the fastest truck in the field, I think, working our way through. It's just starting at the back. It was going to take us quite some time to get there. Honestly, 45 laps, it's honestly less than I thought. I thought it was going to take closer to half the race, the way things started. Glad that wasn't the case, especially with there not being any cautions. At least not yet. Gotta run. Looking low for the lead. Lap 46, and Skinner's all clear off turn 2. Oh my gosh! Immediately pulling to the bottom right behind us was McCumbee. Didn't want to risk the lap truck getting down there, and it looked like he almost spun out trying to make that hard left. First time in 2 days we're leading. Got ourselves at least 5 bonus points tonight. We're stacked up in front of us. I'd imagine this is easily going to be a one-stop race, which is what we're pacing. Made it 50 laps before getting to halfway out of gas. Definitely a one-stop race here this evening. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be making any adjustments when we get to our 1 pit stop of the race. Tires are actually wearing out more than the fuel. And now we're halfway out of gas. On fuel, we can make it about 110 laps, but the way the tires are wearing out, we're going to be able to get to halfway at 100. Well, we're putting a lot of pressure on that right front tire. And again, we haven't really made much contact, all things considered, so that's not why. It's just how flat this racetrack is. Rolling over on that right front quite a bit.
What's the going for?
Got almost a 6-second lead built up already. We just took the lead for the first time 20 laps ago. We've definitely got lap. Oh my god. Is that TJ Bell again? I think it is. What is he doing? That's 2 times he's done that to me. TJ needs to drive out of the windshield, not the mirror. Smoke is for me. My tires are already kind of hurting a little bit. Probably because of the pace I'm putting compared to the rest of the field, too. I'm sure that factors in also. Eight-second advantage. Definitely got to be getting through lap traffic better than anybody else also. Might lap the field multiple times, honestly. This is good, though, in case I do have to pit early. Because we'll lose 2 laps with the pit lane being on the outside of the racetrack versus the inside. It's anywhere between 2 to 3 laps lost. From what I remember, it'll probably be closer to 2 for us just because we have such a big lead. Johnny Benson, who's still in 3rd, is right in front of us. So it'd be nice if this thing just stays green. At least long enough to cycle all the way through. Keep our big lead big. Honestly, caution comes out, I think I'm going to pit. I mean, we're definitely not going to have to worry about going over our tire limit this race, knowing it was going to be 1 stop anyway. So that way I don't have to make the green flag stop. They do. I lap them more. If we get all the way through it without a caution, then we pit on the other side of it during the yellow itself. So we clearly have the quickest truck here. We just can't let the strategy bite us in the rear. Which is very easy to have happen on a track like this. I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of track position just because there's very few trucks on the lead lap, and that's en route to the pace that we've had. Allowed us to kind of free up our flexibility when it comes to the strategy side of games. I can see Chad McCumbee up there. There's only 3 lap trucks between us now. Make that 2.
.135 car, making a move on the right. No, all the way.
I thought I said something about Mrazek being in net tonight. I saw you post the first comment. Ruben Tapa, welcome to the stream. So McCumbee moved the lap truck of the 117 out of the way. Quarter tank of gas left. Now the fuel's on the better side than the tires. First half of the run, I was really leaning on that right front more than a half of the second half of the run. I don't really know what I did different. I feel like my pace is overall quicker now than what it was getting through the pack. Moving in deep, trying to get to the inside of McCumbee as quick as we could. And we'll put him a lap down in 1 and 2, lap 85. So in 85 laps, we have already lapped the field here at the Tiburon Raceway Stadium. You would think this isn't legend difficulty, but I swear to you it is. I have not dominated like this on NASCAR 08 before. Put us on the shortest track, and I guess that's all it took. Hate when they make that abrupt move. I'm coming up on them pretty quick, though. Probably don't see me till the last second. These corners are probably blind out of the rear view, though. How tight this racetrack is. There are 2 trucks that did blow an engine and have been on pit road for a little bit. We'll say they got out of the way pretty easily because I didn't notice a stack up either time. Usually it jacks the whole field up when something like that happens. On the earlier EA games here, 05, 06, and 07. It's our first trip here in NASCAR 08 in any series. Should end up running a bush race here at some point. When we go to the Craftsman Speedway tomorrow night, that's actually going to be our second trip on the season to the Craftsman Speedway for the Truck Series. Still don't want to be the first car to pit road. I'll be up a lap. I might end up going down a lap. I doubt that they're going to do a race at Dodger Stadium. I remember when that was rumored. Them going to Bowman Gray Stadium pretty much put that to rest. I think that was more for them to kind of keep everything in the LA market. So I doubt they'll have a points race there. Not going to be able to really get all the cars on the track at the same time. It's not going to be big enough. 36-car field. So I feel like the exhibition works out as well as it does with a tighter track like that, because your main event, your LCQ, it's pretty much like a normal main event any regular Saturday night. Comes to short track racing. Halfway home already, 100 laps in. Stream's going to end up being less than an hour at the rate we're going now. We haven't had any cautions. We have had a couple of caution-free truck races. One in the Cup Series. We just haven't had a caution-free Busch race yet. I mean, our pit is under the stands, yes. On the right. The opening of the wall in the back straightaway is a pit entrance and pit exit. With it being on the right, that usually causes a lot of incidences, and that's where we tend to see our cautions on these old EA games at this track. Obviously not having a pit stop yet. We haven't had to deal with it to this point, but at lap 105, we got to be getting close. I haven't noticed anybody peel off yet. I don't want to be the first. We might have to be. I've got very minimal fuel left in this tank. It was lap 55 when I hit halfway out of gas, so I'd imagine I can get to lap 108. Anything beyond that's going to be a stretch. We're at lap 107 right now. There's still nobody going down there. Okay. Now we've got some trucks pitting. I'm going to go one more lap. I'll go to 109 and then I'll pit. We've got a couple of drivers on pit road right now, but very few. Definitely going to have to make sure we get to the outside of the racetrack. I'm not going to be able to get up there right now. Got to go one more. All right, we'll make it one more. It's a lot more wide open now. Well, I'm out of gas, so we definitely have to pit. That was kind of a perfect time, though. Would have ended up braking about right there anyway. All right, we're in. No adjustments, 4 tires and full tank of Sunoco race fuel. This is going to be a very congested pit road. There's probably like hardly any cars on the track. They're all under the grandstands. They're hiding. You know, that's the only thing that kind of sucks with this. It's neat being on pit road and kind of having this in the game, but if you're in the grandstands, you wouldn't even get to see live pit stops. Yeah, also known as Pants Speedway. Of course. Too bad they don't have the pants in the infield anymore. Levitating, floating pair of pants. Alright, well, cycled back into the lead. And we're still a lap ahead of the field, so we didn't lose any time there. Still got a lot of trucks leaving the pits, my goodness. The fact that we made it all the way through green flag pit stops with no caution, I think this thing's going caution free. Just ran our fastest lap. 12.851. I said I couldn't get down into the 12.7s. With fresh tires, we get by TJ Bell here. We've got clean air for a few laps. We shall see. I'm trying. I was 1/1000th of a second off. Second be as close as I get. They were in the mid-7s, though. I just gotta learn to commit more. Maybe I can qualify better on a more consistent basis if I just throw caution to win. Like, what's the difference anyway? We're gonna end up qualifying at the back because how broken qualifying is, so might as well try it. Well, we've proven we can go to the back to the front many times in this game. There we go. I had a 12.7 that time. 12.785. Wheel hopped it a little bit, getting into 3 that last lap. Stand on it. Let's go. Oh, man. Really tried to back the corners up. Yeah, it might be all she wrote. I don't think I can get any quicker than that. I had the ability to run in the open for several laps, and we dropped to 12.785, which is still about 400s off of the pole time, but I did get down into the 12.7s.
Don't worry about the black of him. Feeling nice today.
75 to go at the line. Johnny Benson's still in third. I guess TJ Bell's in fourth. Didn't even realize that. We passed him right as soon as we came out of the pits. It's like one of the first trucks in front of us. So Benson's about to go 2 laps down. Once we get 2 laps on the field, it's going to take multiple cautions just for the second place truck to get back on the lead lap, which I believe is still Chad McCumbee. Should be, at least.
He can't out there.
Contact 101.
It's not gonna fly.
$70 to go. Yeah, this is definitely going to be under an hour race. I'd imagine it's going to be the quickest one of the season. But Bristol's close because it's the same amount of laps, but it's a slightly bigger track. 14 to 15 second lap times. That could be under an hour, though, too, depending on how many minutes under an hour this one is.
One thing I call it.
Favorites Larson to win. I mean, he's definitely up there on the list. I always factor in practice and qualifying, kind of the same thing with when I'm making my pick or the win going into the weekend, so I'm not going to have everything for you then. I usually don't set my fantasy lineups until Sunday morning when I really get a good look at things. Sometimes Saturday night, it just depends on when I do my notes. It really depends on how late the truck or Xfinity races the day before the Cup race go. More often than not, because they end up starting later nowadays, I usually don't touch my stat sheet till Sunday morning when I start plugging stuff in and getting everything ready for the pre-race for the Cup Series. As far as the live commentary stuff goes, I mean, in the event that I know at some point later in the year we'll have Xfinity races starting closer to 1 o'clock again. I like to try to get a jump on it when I can. Usually I'll start it on Saturday night, but then I just end up being too tired. It's more of a morning thing. I kind of like waking up first thing in the morning and get my stat sheet ready to go. Then everything that I looked at is pretty much absorbed in my brain for the next several hours before the stream ends up starting. It's easier for me to remember stats that way versus if I looked at it the night before, I might forget some things. Just because it's more time in between when I looked at it. Because I'd almost have to re-look at it a second time, too. Just to verify in the morning, which if I'm doing that anyway, I might as well not waste my time on Saturday night doing that. Easy Network, thanks for tuning in. Mark DeBar is also welcome to the stream.
When you go clear.
Wonder if the first half of this field run I'll be able to save the tires more than I did in the first half of the last tire stint.
Okay.
We're just, at this point, trying to spark conversation because we have such a big lead. I see Chad McCumbee a few cars away. Truck specifically, I should say.
Car. 124 cars. Still hanging on.
Touch. It's TJ Bell again. Almost every time I catch him, about runs me off the racetrack. Give me room. Oh, look at McCumbee popping wheelies. What was that? So strange. About to lap him again. 50 to go. This is going to put us 2 laps ahead of the field. I might catch him one more time for the end of the race. Lapped him the first time at about lap 88, but we also had green flag pit stops in the middle of it. Considering TJ Bell was behind him, even the second place car is more than a full lap ahead of fourth. So while I'm dominating the field, McCumbie's actually relatively quick compared to the rest of the pack as well. Plus, he obviously had a clean pit stop to go along with it. Only 12 races to go in the Truck Series season. After tomorrow, only going to have 11 left. A lot of fantasy tracks right in the middle portion of this schedule, too. We just had Boulder Raceway Park last week was our last truck race. This one, the next race is another fantasy track. I think Eric Darnell's in 5th, and he's about to go 3 laps down. I know he was in the top 5 real early in the race. I also didn't realize that Travis Quapple was one of the trucks that were out. We passed him right around 5th or 6th place real early in the race when we were driving through the field the first time. Yeah, Darnell's actually up to 4th, so he had gotten by TJ Bell. That makes sense. He's just now going 3 laps down there. Johnny Benson's not that far ahead of him, so he's catching Benson for 3rd. Bell was in 4th when we cycled off pit road. Now Benson's all the way up against the wall, and the caution's out for the first time today, and I think that's the reason for the yellow. Caution flag is out. Benson was trying to get to pit road. Something happened to him there. Well, we saw that live when it happened. He was up on his right sides only, kind of scraping the wall a little bit. And we will not go caution-free here tonight. He was about to lose another lap, but if he's going to be out of the race anyway, then that doesn't happen again. Darnell got by us on the restart. Initially, oh boy, big moment there. Try not to do that again. There we go. Lap Menard that time. See, if I would have pitted too, I would have given a lot of trucks a free pass. It would have gone from 3 laps down to 2. And McCumbee would have been able to restart right behind us. This way he's at the tail end of the longest line, which was pretty much the inside. I mean, not pretty much. It was the inside line. With only 1 truck on the lead lap, which was us on the outside. Which is why Eric Darnell was able to beat us on the restart. Get one of his laps back initially. In case any more. Might have a chance to try to catch the back of the field and get McCumbee again. I'd like to in case we see another caution. Had one. And thinking maybe we end up getting another. And Darnell gets by Skinner. Outright that time. No restart needed. Skinner right back underneath him again. Got him back. Cubby's actually getting through the traffic quite quickly. Looks like he's passed about half the trucks already. We just restarted about 13 laps ago. My goodness. He's trying to keep himself in it. Like I said, we get one more caution and he's right back on the lead lap. Oh, and we almost had another caution right there. Right at the tail end of the field. So it's got to be somebody that's battling for like 30th. Oh, wow. I just turned myself. I was expecting him to hook the bottom way more than he did. I wasn't really down on the bottom. He was in the middle, and I was way up on the outside. I'm honestly kind of pushing hard again because I just want to get to the white flag as soon as I can. Keep it clean and green, boys. Last night we were praying for a caution, never got it. Tonight we're praying for it to stay green. Hopefully it does. Ten laps to go this time by at the line. The truncheon fender's back behind us there. They're almost 3 wide again. But don't do that. That guy was getting real loose all of a sudden. Looked like a gigantic wheel hop. He kind of did the same thing. 7 more. 6 to get the white. A quarter tank of gas left, but we're plenty good to the end. Hit it at lap 110. And we had a few caution laps. 5 more. With the number 5 of Mike Skinner.
The 151 car.
Two to go. Let me see the white. Got it. 1 lap to go. So I ran one more truck up the track just a little bit. Kind of floated it a little wide, getting into 1 and 2. All right, dominating win. Our most dominant win on NASCAR 08 yet. That's crazy. We're doing the burnout under the grandstands. Get me over there. It's going to be smelling like tire rubber in here for weeks. Whoever the home team is coming out of the locker room is going to be smelling like burnt rubber for the rest of the season. All right. Only 47 minutes, 29 seconds to get this race in today. 1 caution, 1 lap margin of victory. 155 laps led out of 200 for ourselves here. 27 for Chad McCumbee, who started 3rd, finished 2nd. Johnny Benson started on the pole, but he ended up bringing out our only caution. I believe he did DNF following that yellow, so I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, but wrecked out. 18 laps led for him at the very start of the race before McCumbee took the lead, and then we took it from McCumbee. Only the 2 lead changes, 1 caution. 94.75 mile per hour average race speed, 3 DNFs, Travis Quapple, C. Fletcher, and as I mentioned already, Johnny Benson. Tenth place car finished 5 laps down. My goodness, 8th place car finished 5 laps down. 1 lap victory over Chad McCumbee in 2nd. Eric Darnell 3 laps down in 3rd. 4th, TJ Bell. 4 laps down for Wilson Eubanks, Noah Howe, and Craig Kinzer in 5th, 6th, and 7th. And then you have George T. 8th, 5 laps down. Same for Proteus and Vance. Yeah, quick stream tonight. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. There is a very good likelihood that I'm going to have to move the stream start time back again tomorrow. I'll keep you updated in the community tab this time, just for a fair warning. And as far as that goes, we will be at the Craftsman Speedway for that race, another fantasy track. 2nd time that we'll be racing at Craftsman Speedway on this game, and both times in the truck series so far. I want to actually take a look at the stats I had from the first race there. Earlier in the season. We actually just ran there 4 races. 3. As of this next race, it's literally going to be the third to last race we just ran. So we raced there once, ran at Boulder, Tiburon, and then we go right back to Craftsman again. I thought we ran it recent, but it's more recent than I even thought it was going to be. Yeah, 200 laps. Same distance as tonight, half mile, short track, so slightly longer race. I don't remember how many cautions we had there. That might have been one of our couple of caution-free races, honestly. We led 150 laps, so we'll probably be quick yet again. Appreciate everybody tuning in, though. See you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your